Hi guys, welcome to this reading about if this relationship of yours is toxic. So we got a shitload of cards here. Look at this, you guys. In every pile there's like a massive amount of cards. And I will be looking at the overall energy of your relationship. I will be looking at how that affects each of you and what you trigger in each of you. And then I'm going to sum up to say if your relationship is toxic or not. This was a great reading. I really loved this. Really. This is to any kind of relationship, so it's towards romantic, of course, but doesn't like it can be a crush, it can be someone you're dating, it can be something new, it can be something old, it can be get back together with an ex, it can be any kind of romantic relationship. So that's up to you. You will recognize in the first part of the reading if it's your situation or not. So remember, this is the general reading. It's not everything that's resonates. Just check what resonates and leave the rest. Yeah, I think that about sums it up. Yeah. So we got 3 piles here today. I was guided to use my mini paintings I've painted. So we got this lightning here in the sky. We got this sunset or sunrise, not sure, with the forest. And we got the magical tree with the magical, maybe a little glowing tree with the fireflies. Yes. So if you haven't picked a pile, put the video on pause because I'm going to jump to pile number 1 now. Pile number 1, you chose this little stormy weather where the lightning hits the sky, a night sky. So that could indicate that this was like a connection hitting you like lightning, like out of the blue, right? And really hard, kind of. Yeah. So I got a lot of cards today. Some of them are out to the side here. So this first pile is about the overall energy of this relationship. So we are looking into, is this relationship toxic? Not so much are you toxic or is the other person toxic, but the relationship and what it evokes inside of you, right? What it triggers. So we got the first pile here with some cards about the overall energy of your relationship, and with this you can recognize if it is your relationship. So now it's a general reading, so it won't fit like 100%, but is it your story, is it not? That's kind of up to you to define. And if it is your story, you can move on with the reading where we're going to take a look at. I'm doing 2 persons here. Normally, because this is a self-development channel, I don't do third person readings, meaning like I don't do those readings where I tell you how he feels about you and if he's coming back and stuff like that. I do have a video about how he feels about you, but there's a trick. That's a twist in that video, so it doesn't count. Anyhow, in this video, I'm looking at 2 people because is it a toxic relationship? So because there's 2 people involved here, you could be like, if I did the reading just on you, because you're in a relationship, that might have been the other person's energy, because this is the relationship reading. Do you understand? Are you feeling me? Like, I'm reading the relationship and there's 2 parts in that. So that's why I'm doing 2 people. So overall energy. After that, we're going to take a look at how this overall energy, how this relationship affects each person. And then we're going to take a look at what the other person triggers in each person, right? What does he trigger in you? What do you trigger in him? Could be same-sex relationship, doesn't matter. It could be you're a man, she's female, doesn't matter. I'm just saying he, she, okay? And at the end, I'm going to try to sum up, is this a healing or toxic relationship to each person, right? So it could be toxic to one person, but not the other. So I'm going to get some water here. Yes, are we ready, you guys? So, overall energy of this relationship. Keep an open mind. Past life relationship, yeah, that makes sense with the lightning. This might be why you've it strikes like that, right? Because you already know each other, what the souls does. King of Pentacles. Hierophant. 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. Not a Cups. Tower, yeah. 3 of Wands. The Fool. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. The lightning here. There we go. I don't hope... No, that's too dark for me. Just a second, you guys. Can we do it like that? So the Fool gets a little sunshine. Okay, I think we can do it like that. I don't hope it's too dark. Anyhow, let's dig into this. So the Tower here, we got like lightning striking. Overall energy. So something new I'm feeling with the Fool, and something about moving from one environment to the next. So this could be the physical environment of moving, like maybe you move location to another city, another state, another country, and then you meet this person out of the blue. There's this lightning, right? So you're in a kind of new world. This could be the other person as well, because I'm reading the relationship. But someone here, you or them, are in a new world, and then they meet the other person, right? And also there could be, I'm hearing some kind of new love, meaning like it could be because we have the past life relationship. That could be in this life that you've met each other before and now you meet again, and this is a new beginning. Or a new kind of love. So the meaning that keep an open mind, because this is not what you're used to. Okay, so if you're used to people, like you're used to partners when you're dating, they kind of ghost you, for example. This person isn't ghosting you. There's something new there, or they're taking initiative for this relationship, and you're not used to that. There's something new here, or just a new type. You're used to being with this big muscle guys who work out at the gym all the time, and this guy is a kind of geeky who doesn't work out, and he's all into science and stuff. And stuff. I love it. Anyhow, that could be like a new kind of person, right? So keep an open mind. But there's definitely something here about lightning striking, and for some of you might be, I'm feeling kind of a confusion, maybe because it's a new type, or maybe it's because like I've known this person before, but yeah, I'm feeling the confusion, definitely. 3 of Wands is about waiting for the ship to come in. So there's something here about feeling the situation is what I'm feeling. Like, what is this? Like, I tried this before. Like, I met a person and it felt like he landed on my planet like an alien, and I had to, like, in my vision, like the feeling I was having inside was like walking like 5 meters away from him, poking him with a stick. Like, what are you? Who are you? What is this? What is this real? What are you? What is this? Like, it's so new. It's so unfamiliar. I don't know what this is, this energy. So it could be the same here, like with the poking and what's this? I don't know. Like, I'm gonna play the waiting game because I'm not sure about this person, right? Also, with a tower, like your ground is shook, right? It's been shaking so hard that you're like, oh my god, what's this? I can't know. I need to find my balance. Yeah. So we got the Hierophant. That can mean a lot of things. It's a major arcana, as well as Tower, as well as the Fool. So the major arcana is about big stuff, right? Big stuff in life. The minor arcana is like 9 of Cups, 3 of Wands, and no, that's, yeah, King of Pentacles. It's a court card, but it's a part of the minor arcana. It's about more like day-to-day stuff. So 9 of Cups can talk about wish fulfillment. So there's something you've been wishing for, and this person drops into your life, and you're like, oh, really? He's here? What I've been wishing for? It's here now. No, I'm not sure. There's really that uncertainty going on. Really, that's so much bleeding through. And the Hierophant is about something bigger. It's about, sometimes it speaks about marriage, but to me, it just speaks about like on a higher soul level, right? So there's something definitely writing your soul story is what I'm feeling here. So before you incarnated into this life, let's say you've been writing this book about, okay, this is what's going on. This is the lessons I want in my life. This is the soul contracts I have. This is one I got a timeline here, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like it's the right time now. You've been meeting this person at this specific time for a reason. So far I'm seeing nothing toxic here at all. I'm just seeing well, they got the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a sturdy energy. The Pentacles is about grounding in the physical world, and that balance that we don't have with the Tower. So that this might indicate one of the people. This might indicate you, or it might indicate him. Again, it could be same sex, vice versa, whatever. And the King of Pentacles is a very mature energy. Oh, okay. They're telling me this is actually, it's representing of the relationship. Yeah, so it's a mature energy. It's grounded. It's solid. It's slow moving, and that's a good thing. Yes. Okay. So if this is your relationship, or crush or situationship or whatever you've got going on, then let's move on to the two parts here. Put this up here. Can we put it like that? So, got two people. And I'm going to represent them with animals. We got these animal cards here. So one person is the koala. Spirit has a plan. So one of you might be very spiritual. Look at this koala. Look at that. Oh, that stare. That's so good. She looks like such a grandma. Am I right? Like sitting there knitting and giving you that stare, that wisdom stare. I know, child. I know what you've been up to. You've been having your hands in the cookie jar again. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell your mama, but I know. Right? I love it. So, yeah, a lot of wisdom, a lot of calm is what I'm feeling. Yeah. Koala. They are very calm animals, very slow moving, kind of spa. It's what I'm feeling, a spa animal, right? Chilling in life, slow moving, just eating those eucalyptus leaves, very picky. The other person is represented by the armadillo. Armadillo! The holiday armadillo! No, you watch Friends? When Ross is playing the holiday armadillo? Anyhow, set healthy boundaries. Yeah, so armadillo with the shield, like they're curling up, right? So this person might be more defensive and protective of themselves and their energy. I'm hearing some exploitation. So they might experience that people have exploited their kindness and their openness. I also see goggles. So there might be something about searching for the truth is what I'm hearing. Want to see clearly. And I see that they have these piercing in the ears. So they might be kind of, I won't say punk, but kind of like etchy in some kind of way, right? Might have a pink hair color or a nose ring, or it doesn't have to, like tattoos, doesn't have to be something big. It's just like a little bit of etchy, yeah. I don't know what accent that was. This energy is crazy, you guys. I'm like that. Anyhow, let's see. So how does this? Let's do the koala first. How does this relationship affect the koala? So we got career. Okay, funny. Yeah, this is the feeling I'm having all along, you guys. Like really skittish and giddy, and the energy is so high, and I love it. Yeah, Queen of Cups. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. Queen of Cups is about emotions, and the Queen is the uppermost feminine energy, right? The balanced energy. And with the emotions and feminine energy being emotional, that is just, I love Queen of Cups. So she's got this big cup and it's overflowing and everywhere and all around her, and she's so ready to give that love, right? And I feel like this koala is is affected by this relationship. Is really getting filled up in this cup of motherly love, right? So it might have been that the koala was missing some kind of love or affection or attention from their mother's child, and that this relationship is really providing this, is filling that empty cup. Actually, I'm not sure it was empty, but it's filling that cup. Ace of Pentacles, again with the Pentacles here, steady energy, and we got these hammer and axe. I'm thinking of career. I'm thinking of work actually. So a new could be a new career. Could be so yeah. Could be multiple things. Could be that this relationship inspires the koala so much that it affects the career in a positive way. I'm feeling 100% positive things here. Could be it inspires them to go a new way in the career, right? Doing something different. Maybe because this is, I'm feeling very spiritual. Maybe they used to work with something not non spiritual, nothing spiritual, not spiritual. Let's say they were a garbage man, right? Or working in a grocery store, whatever. And then they meet the armadillo and they get inspired to move in, so that it opens up something spiritual inside of them. Maybe because the armadillo is spiritual, I don't know. Maybe just because the relationship opens up inside something inside of them, making them want to change their career into something spiritual, or opening up to go down that path. I'm getting this feeling. It's not for everyone. It's a general reading, but because of the Queen of Cups, I'm getting a feeling of therapist actually, because that is, or nursing. Nursing is what I'm said as what is I'm told as well. Something about caring other people. Massage also is what I'm hearing. There's all kinds of therapists, so it's not, doesn't have to be like someone talking. A massage therapist can also be the case. So yeah, this is like, wow. This relationship is affecting the koala in a very positive way, I've gotta say. So let's take a look at how it's affecting the holiday armadillo. Oh, you guys. Unfinished symphony, okay. Appreciation. Imaginary. Toxic positivity. Okay. Let's see what that's about. Unfinished symphony. Okay, so what I'm feeling here with the toxic positivity and the imaginary is that this relationship is affecting the armadillo in a kind of way where they go into maybe too much imagination, like they're daydreaming a lot about this relationship, like very focused, right? And sitting in their own world, creating all sorts of beautiful scenarios, thinking about what happened, what was said, what did it mean. It could, but I'm not saying it's toxic, because this is a trait when you're in love, you do this, but it's also, yeah, it's also, it can be too much, right? It can be too much. Wait, it kind of gets unhealthy. Let's see the other cards here. Appreciation. Oh, that's beautiful. So this relationship with the koala makes the armadillo more appreciative of life, and everything small and everything beautiful. It really it's waking something up inside of them, is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like they want to uncurl. So they've been like this tight ball, and then they met the koala, and they kind of like, oh my god, this is beautiful. Like, and the koala is funny also, right? Their energy is just fantastic. So it makes the armadillo want to curl up a bit. Yeah. And I think the armadillo can feel how much the koala really likes this connection. So that makes the armadillo appreciate the koala bear. What's up with this unfinished symphony? Okay. So the armadillo was kind of stuck actually in their development. That curl up ball kind of thing. It's kind of like they got stuck somewhere, maybe because of heartache, something like that. I don't know. It's a general reading, but it's kind of like when they met the koala, it started something up again. It's something like the egg here is something new, right? And we had that with the new love and the fool here, moving from one world to another. So actually, the koala does something very good to the armadillo's self-development here. because there was an unfinished symphony that just the armadillo had just stopped in their track. Let's say there was a heartache. Let's say, okay, so for some people it's about they lost someone, like someone passed away, like a parent or maybe a partner or a best friend or someone really close, and that grief made the armadillo stop in their tracks. That made them curl up and they couldn't move, and the self-development either. For others, it might have been like a heartache for someone breaking up or getting fired, something like that. Or for some of you, I'm hearing like you split with your partner and now you have to co-parent, so you can't be around your kids all the time, and that breaks your heart. And that gets the armadillo, like, if you're the armadillo, of course, that gets the armadillo like all balled up. So this koala is kind of getting this armadillo going again, actually. This relationship with the koala. That's great, you guys. Okay, so far so good, right? Yeah. Let's put this here and here. So let's take a look at what does the one person trigger in the other. So what does the armadillo trigger in the koala spirit? And what does the koala spirit trigger in the armadillo? Armadillo. I love it. Okay. So what does the armadillo trigger in the koala? Got dreams. Yeah, so trigger can be a good thing. So that, again, yeah, with the career and stuff like that, there's something here about the koala have been having some dreams or something they wanted to do with their life, and the armadillo is kind of like pushing them or encouraging them to go follow their dreams. It's a good thing. With the tiger here, I'm feeling a lot of strength. And the tiger is a solitary animal, so something about believing in yourself, walking your own path, right? Leaning against your strength. So the koala spirit is being strengthened actually by this relationship. And also there could be something about dreaming about the armadillo, like when you're sleeping. But, we're looking at triggers here. So what shadows do we have? Sensitive and intelligent. I love this, you guys. I love this so much. Again, because with the light bulb here, getting new ideas and opening up. It's kind of like there's a floodgate being open. So all these ideas, all this like sensitive energies, is like coming into koala's life now. So this relationship with the armadillo, like the armadillo triggered something in the koala, making them safe to open up for this dream that opens up for all these energies, and because the electricity is energies, right? And being vulnerable and being sensitive, being allowed to be sensitive, because the armadillo is very sensitive. That's why they got this protection. They're so curled up. I think the koala maybe wasn't aware that they were so sensitive. So meeting the armadillo is kind of like, wow, I kind of mirror my sensitivity in you, realizing that, wow, I am this sensitive just as you are. And seeing that in another person opens it up inside of yourself, right? What else we got? We got surrender denial. Oh, you guys, that is so beautiful. So the koala spirit, koala here, has been in some kind of denial about themselves. So let's say it's the spiritual. Let's say they got spiritual gifts and they're experienced something throughout their lives, but they'll be like, nah, scientifically this is not possible, or it's just something else, or blah blah blah, making excuses. So denying, like walking around with this blindfold about who they really are, and maybe their spiritual abilities, but at least who they really are, being sensitive and stuff like that. And so the armadillo is just triggering that denial and opening it up, that like they removing kind of how do you say that, challenges the quality to remove that denial. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Yeah, that's all about being sensitive, right? It's not necessary about the forest and the woods and the beaches and everything like that. The natural world is us. It's being sensitive. It's being a feeling and sensible person, like sensing and hearing and watching, and I got this thing because I'm sensitive, right? I got this thing, I call it what should I call that in English? Like, just a second, I I need to translate inside my head. My translation isn't good in my head when I'm channeling, because the channeling is taking up all the space. Yeah, visual noise. Okay, so visual noise to me is like big cities. Like, you go into big cities and you hear all the noise, right? You know that, with the cars and a lot of people and everything going on. And visual noise is like the billboards blinking, too many people, clutter and trash, and that's visual noise to me. Visual noise in my own home is like when my kitchen needs to be cleaned, right? I should put that in the dishwasher, but I haven't been doing that, so it's standing on the table. That's visual noise. So you might, if you're the koala, you might start experiencing like, oh my god, there's so much noise in the world, like visual noise and actual noise you can hear, and emotional noise, right? What's going on inside of you, and maybe you can feel like other people, and something's opening up here. It's so the armadillo is kind of challenging the koala, because the armadillo got this, right? They're so in depth with the natural world, with the sensing and the sensibility, and that's why they got this shield, because they're so sensitive, and they're kind of challenging the koala to, open up that side of them. I love it. Surrender to effortlessness. Yeah, but I feel like the energy I'm feeling here throughout this reading, I'm feeling like it's an easier relationship for the koala than it is for the armadillo, because the koala is learning so much. They're being open to so much, and they're like, oh my god, this armadillo is just, oh, the things they're doing to me, they're making me see the world. This is so beautiful, and they got so much love for the armadillo, I'm feeling. Whereas the armadillo, because of the shield and because of what they're experienced in their life, they're still a little like uncertain, and I'm not sure. I'm kind of waiting for the koala to leave, because that's what they're used to. But we'll take a look at that in a minute. So this opening everything to the koala is suddenly everything is effortless. Suddenly, when I go with my heart, everything is effortless. Instead of struggling in my career, in my relationships, in my home life, and everything like that, everything is effortless because I'm learning to go with my heart, because the armadillo is teaching me that, right? Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Yeah, that just sums it up, right? The koala's not this person anymore that it used to be before they met the armadillo. They're so much deeper now. They're going to their core, realizing who they are. It's so beautiful, you guys. So beautiful. Let's take a look at what the koala triggers in the armadillo. Don't got as many cards here. Self-love. Wow, that's beautiful, you guys. And surrender fear makes sense with the shield, right? Let's take a look at the last card here. Surrender. Yeah, so they're triggering their stubbornness. I could imagine an armadillo being stubborn, actually. So I'm feeling with the stubbornness, it's kind of like the shield curling up, like a response reflection. So if the armadillo is so used to just putting up their shield, it's a reflection. It's kind of like that. So it's not that they're stubborn, that they don't want to change, it's that it's really hard for them to change, because the world so far have only shown them that they have to protect themselves. This makes so much sense with the keep an open mind and this new energy that I was feeling, this new kind of love, because the armadillo isn't, first of all, the koala has never met a person like the armadillo before, right? The things the armadillo do to this koala, it's crazy, and the koala is like, oh my god, this is a totally new world. And the armadillo, to them, I'm sorry to say this, is if you're the koala, I'm sorry to say this, but the armadillo probably met a lot of your type, like, but they're so used to like, the armadillo is attracting sensitive people who don't know they're sensitive. And they're doing that because their life purpose is to open people up, to make people realize that they are sensitive. But so far, the people that the armadillo has been attracting hasn't been ready. So they've been into the armadillo and they've been, oh my God, this is so like, they're feeling that energy that you guys, the armadillo has the most beautiful energy. It's so soft, it's so delicious, it's so spacious, so like, I got room for you, I got love for you. I'm being shown like big room with pillows on the floor and candlelight and like lights hanging from the ceiling and fabric hanging from the it's beautiful, you guys. That's the armadillo explained, right? They got so much room and space and love for people and holding space and teaching people about this space. Problem is that they've been trying to teach people and people will be like, oh my God, I love this, and then suddenly they are just ghosting them. They're gone, right? And so the armadillo curls up and their shield becomes more and more thicker and heavier. I'm feeling like heavy shield, right? Every time they're being shown that they can't trust people. So that's why they're so, is it comprehensive? That's not the word. It's like they're so, I'm not sure about this, right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about you because I've experienced this before. They feel that the koala is different than the other people, but they've been so scarred and hurt so many times that they're still not sure. So there is a different, okay, so it wasn't totally true that the koala is like everybody else they've met. It's not like, there is something different about the koala, definitely. I feel that. But they're still not sure. Like they got the goggles on, right? Want to investigate if what can we do here. So the stubbornness isn't really about being stubborn. It's about the reflection, right? No, not reflection. The reaction. What do you call that? Like it's a reaction. It's something they can't really control because it's a survival instinct. So they're trying is what I'm hearing. So if you're the koala and you're feeling like the armadillo is kind of shut in sometimes and you can't get to their space and can't feel the love and you can't bring them love, it's because they're in a place where they have to feel themselves because they're so scared of losing themselves. They're so scared of getting hurt again. So it's not that they're stubborn like that. But I do feel this relationship is, for the armadillo, is about surrendering fear and it's about self-love. And I don't feel anything toxic in this, you guys. That's the sum up. The sum up of this relationship is that if you're the armadillo, you could be in doubt that this is a toxic relationship because you're getting so triggered because you're not sure about this, because you're seeing some of the same signs, but it's not. And I'm just feeling with the koala here, they're very much in their own energy and kind of forgets about the armadillo sometimes. So if you're the koala, you need to be looking past yourself here in this relationship. If you want to make the armadillo more safe, you need to be more engaged in the armadillo, meaning how are you doing today? What do you need from me? Are you okay? Can I make you a cup of tea? Like small things all the time, like good morning and good night and how's your day been? Stuff like that, being more like, I got a lot going on over here. Of course they are. The koalas is everything is opening up to them. It's a new world that the armadillo is kind of providing here, or not providing, opening a door for the koala, but that makes the koala all like, oh my God, I'm so excited, and forget about the armadillo a bit. And that the armadillo feels that because they're so sensitive. They understand that's what's going on with you, and with the koala, and the armadillo is very patient, but it triggers oh my God, they're going to leave me in a minute, right? They don't need me anymore, or they're too scared of this connection. They're very hold back. And if the koala wants the armadillo to feel more safe, the good thing would be to include the armadillo in their new world, saying like, oh my God, you opened this to me. I'm feeling this because you're giving me this. And how do you feel? What's going on inside of you? What do I bring to you? Like, let's connect here, right? Being interested like that. And with the armadillo here, I definitely see if you're scared that this is a toxic relationship, because it's very triggering, and you feel the shield coming up all the time if you're the armadillo, right? And with a lot of fear here, is this going to replay? So I'm just going to tell the armadillo that take it slow, right? And remind the koala, I need this from you. If there's something you need from the koala, you need to say it to them, because they're so immersed in this new world. It's like if you had a coloring book and you only had 3 colors, suddenly you have 20 colors. You have 20 colors now to paint with. Oh my God, everything is so different. It's so vibrant. It's so, there's so many, that energy. And the armadillo has like 100 colors to paint with. So like, they get it, but so their world is so different, right? So, armadillo, please ask of the koala, I need this from you. I need this from you, because the koala wants to give it. It's just, there's a lot of more. For the energies, the koala is a bit more childish energy, and the armadillo there's a lot of sorrow over here. I'm feeling a lot of sorrow, a lot of aloneness and loneliness, and feeling like you have to lift the burdens of the world on your shoulders, right? Have to do everything yourself. No one's really ever there for you. That's a big, big wound. And the koala could be there for you, but because they're so immature in their energy, you need to tell them what you need, because they can't figure that out for themselves. So you need, if you're the armadillo, you need to tell the koala, I need this from you. I need this from you. Can you do that? And give them the chance to do it also, because they might forget it because they're so engulfed in their own world. Yeah, just a second. Because I'm feeling here, I'm not sure, I think it's the fear from the armadillo that the koala is just gonna forget. So this world opened up and now they're gonna forget about the armadillo. That's the fear. And let me just tap into the koala here. Well, I do feel like there's this non-responsibility, like an immaturity about the sorrow that the armadillo is having. So the koala spirit has to. There is some selfishness, definitely. I do feel that, and that's what the armadillo is. I think they're feeling it too, and they're fearing it. I think it's because what I'm feeling here with the koala is it's somehow they feel invincible because of this new world. Um, and I think maybe this has already happened, or maybe this will happen. The koala would do something that hurts the armadillo, but that thing would make the koala, and the armadillo is gonna, set a boundary and say, that's not okay, you totally hurt me by doing that, and retract. And that's gonna make the koala realize, that thing actually is gonna make the koala realize, oh my God, I've been so selfish. So this needs to happen. So if it hasn't happened, I'm sorry to tell you that, but it needs to happen for the koala to realize it. And if you're the armadillo, kind of you can prepare yourself for, like, don't get too involved in this, because the koala might do something that hurts you. But it actually has to happen, because that experience is gonna make the koala realize, oh my God, I've not been taking care of my armadillo. And it's gonna be that feeling, my armadillo, my holiday armadillo. No, but so maybe right now you're just the armadillo and the koala, right? But when this happens, it might have happened for some of you already, and you might be in that stage actually where you're the armadillo and the koala hurt you, and you're like, is this a toxic relationship? And the koala, it has to happen, because the armadillo putting up a boundary and saying, that's not okay, I'm not up for that, that's not, you totally hurt me by doing that, and then retracting themselves. So it doesn't work if you're saying, I don't like you doing that, and you're still available. You have to retract your energy. You have to move away from this. Not saying that you should break up the relationship, but you should move away your energy and go like with the self-love, go within, use it on you, and just take a pause or a break or some kind of distance from the koala. And that is what is going to wake the koala up, realizing I owe all of this to the armadillo. The armadillo is so special to me. It's my armadillo. I don't want anybody. I want to be with the armadillo. Realizing how much they actually love the armadillo is what I'm feeling. So I do totally understand if you're the armadillo and you're feeling like this relationship is kind of toxic, but I don't think it is actually. But there's something's gonna happen. Not abuse, not that they're hitting you, not that they're nothing narcissistic, nothing. It could be as severe as some kind of cheating. It could be, but this is a general reading, and I don't think so. I don't think I'm more as to like the koala going out with their friends all the time and forgetting about the armadillo, or blowing the armadillo off when they're having a appointment. That's not what it's called. They have a date, let's say that, and the koala's blowing the armadillo off. And something like this happens so many times. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm leaving. And the koala is like, oh my God. Because they're so much in their own world, in this new world, that they become kind of selfish and they can't see how they're affecting the armadillo. Is what I'm feeling. Yeah. So, you guys, to sum it up for the koala, it's definitely not a toxic relationship. But there might be some toxic traits about, not too toxic, but being selfish and not considering of other people's feelings might arise because of all of this. And to the armadillo, I'm not seeing it's a toxic relationship either, but of course be aware and don't stick around where you're not appreciated. Yeah, but you need to tell the koala. You need to be upfront and straightforward and say, that's not okay, this is not, and that's not. I don't appreciate that. You doing this, saying that is hurting my feelings. I'm gonna take a step away from this relationship, because that they need that. They don't know if you don't react, if you're the armadillo. So self-love, a more focus on yourself is definitely, yeah. So you guys, that's what I have for you. Pile number 1. I hope you can use it. If this resonated, please give the video a thumbs up so we can get out to more people. Go take a look in my playlist. I got a lot of pick cards about self-development and some about relationship and love as well. So go check that out if you're into that. And until next time, take care. Bye. Pile number 2. You chose this little painting of a sunset or a sunrise. I'm not sure. But something, if it's a sunrise, something, you might have been in a dark period and this relationship is it's bringing light to your world again, right? Yeah, but let's see. So this reading, usually, because on this channel is about self-development, so usually I only tune into your energy. I'm not doing those third-person readings, but this is the relationship we're looking at, so I'm tuning into both parts, and it's up to you to figure out what part you are. So the first pile here, I got piles out here to the side. The first pile is about the relationship connection, the energies, what's going on in this relationship. That's to help you see if this is your pile. Afterwards, we're going to take a look at how this relationship affects you and how it affects the other person. And after that, we're going to take a look at how each person triggers each other. And then we're going to make a sum up to see, like, is this relationship toxic? So I'm not really looking at if one person is toxic. I'm looking at how this relationship affects you as a person, if it's toxic to you. So it could be toxic to one person and not the other. Remember, this is a general reading, so it's not necessarily everything that fits. So take what resonates. And if this first pile of your relationship isn't your relationship, so you can be in a relationship, or it can just be a crush, or it could be a situationship, or it could be like an ex or whatever. It's like, a relationship, but it's not necessarily like you're married or live together and stuff like that. It's some kind of romantic relationship, right? There's so many variants of that. Yeah. So let's take a look at the overall energy. Flirts, the Hanged Man, okay. 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. This very contradictory actually with the Hanged Man and the Knight of Swords, because Knight of Swords is charging forwards, right, with a lot of energy, and the Swords is the mental energy, some thoughts, stuff like that, what's going on inside the head, and also the Swords can represent the truth. At the same time, we got the Hanged Man. So that's very interesting. Usually, the 7 of Pentacles is about growing something, right? It's a guy standing next to his plant with 7 pentacles on it. In this deck, we got, it's kind of like, it's a little bit unbalanced, but it's not much. And there's a contract here, and we got wheat for the summer, and we got these kind of, I think these bloom like late winter in the early spring. I don't remember their names, but there's gonna be red berries on them when the little bill flowers is gone. This for me is like planting something, which is the 7 of Pentacles, about planting something and waiting for it to be ready to reap what you sow. But something with a contract here. So the contract is making me feel like there's a significant spiritual connection. So is it with, like, if you've been married, there is a contract you sign when you marry. And I remember this when I divorced my husband years ago. We were so entangled in each other's energy. When we divorced, we both got seriously ill. Like really, like we had to stay in bed for multiple days. And when that's not when we got divorced. Actually, there was a lot of because we still lived together like 4 months after. We were very good friends after, and there was, of course. But when I moved out, that's actually when we really tore the contract, I feel, and our energies became unentangled, and we got so sick, so ill, both of us, and we were in bed, both of us, in days, and we didn't really realize the other person had it that way because we wasn't in contact in those days. So just afterwards we realized, oh my god, you've been sick too. So their energies, because we were untangling them, was making us sick because there's so much coming to the surface, right? So with the contract here, there might be some really heavy energies going on, I'm feeling. Yeah, and the Pentacles is about the physical world. So, and the contract weighing a little bit more, it's not much, but weighing a little bit more than the physical world, that can signify that you are really feeling this contract in your physical body. Meaning, like, we got ill when I moved away, and the energies were separated. The same thing actually when you entangle energies, you can get really sick and feel it in your body because you are triggering so much in each other. But I'm kind of feeling like this is a new, because we got the flirt here. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. And when we got the sunrise. So it's kind of like we got this guy who's stuck. And we got this guy who's going like way forward, right? Like, actually this is papers with writing on it. I've never seen that. I think it is. It looks like it. So he's in such a hurry that he's leaving everything behind, touring up maybe old contracts. I don't know. 8 of Pentacles is about working together and community. Look at this. In this card, it's about community. Usually, it's just one guy like pounding on a pentacles. On a pentacle, not a pentacles, but this is totally community working together. And so there's no cups energy here. The cups is about emotions, but we got the flirt. So definitely, I'm feeling with the community, definitely something deep. And it kind of, it's so weird because it's stuck, but it's moving very fast forward. It's cutting into things. I'm feeling, and I'm feeling, actually, that's the funny thing. I'm feeling like maybe you've been stuck for a long time, and this person, just because of this relationship, not necessarily the person, but this relationship is here, is coming in fast forward and cutting you down, right? Making you fall to the ground with and that hurts you, right? You hit your head, or you hit your shoulder, whatever. Looking that as a metaphor to the energetic things that's going on in your body. You can, maybe because of the fast forward movement of this relationship, like it's kind of like clashing energy is what I'm feeling. It makes you react in your body. Yeah. Another scenario could be if it's a sundown. So everything it's because it's, maybe the relationship isn't new, but there's something stuck in the relationship, and this guy wants to tear the contract, but it's not really happening because there's a lesson that isn't done here. There's a lesson. There's definitely a lesson in this relationship. Yeah, so this could be two scenarios here. So let's take a look at, if this is your situation, let's take a look at what else we got. So we got two people here. Yeah. Sorry about the accents, or non-accent. So I'm gonna have each person represented by an animal, right? Discard. So one person is the skunk, know your worth. The other person is frog spirit, frog, clear out the clutter. So I love that it's two small animals, actually. Because the skunk isn't, like, it's sitting on a flower, so it's represented as very small, right? Feeling like it's a baby skunk, so it's not very, I'm not saying it's immature, but there's something not unstable. Like when you look at a puppy, right? It can't really control its feet. That's kind of what I'm feeling with the skunk. It's kind of new. Maybe maybe the skunk hasn't been incarnated as a person very many times on Earth, and they're still kind of uncertain in this world. I'm not sure. The frog seems more grounded and very assured in who they are and in the world and stuff like that. Clear out the clutter. So they might be going through a phase where they're cleaning out their life, right? And that might be the stuck feeling of the hanged man. Like, I've been cleaning out my life now forever, and I stopped moving, and I don't know why. So let's take a look at how this relationship affects each of you. So let's do the skunk person first. So it's kind of like there's an innocence about this, right? Yeah. Something fragile almost. Let's take a look what we got. Let's do the shadow here. Vain. Okay, surprise. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah. So it's not that its skunk is vain. It's because this relationship makes them tend to their appearance more, and that's not unusual when we have a crush on or if we're in love or we are interested in a person. Every time we're gonna meet up with them, we're gonna put on our makeup, put on perfume, like go to the gym. Like there's more attentiveness to ourselves and how we present ourselves. So that's not actually not. I get it. Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Change in the wind. Oh, loyal heart. I love it. Inspiration. So definitely, I'm feeling butterflies in the stomach. And she's touching something that lights up. So it's about, for the skunk, it's about, there's some kind of magic arising inside them because of this relationship, and that makes them, like, everything they touch become magical, if that makes sense. Justice. Oh, love it. So I feel actually that the skunk has been very misunderstood in their life. That makes sense because usually, like let's take a look at the skunk in the natural world, right? We're afraid of skunks because we know they have those glands where they can spray that awful smell. I never met a skunk, I never smelled this, but I've seen TV shows and people telling that this is an awful smell, and it's like you can never really get it off. It takes ages, right? So it's kind of a misunderstood creature because it only does this as a defense mechanism, right? But really, maybe I feel that the skunk is a very curious animal, and it's a very loving animal, and it's a very affectionate animal, but it's misunderstood. So I feel like in this relationship, there is justice for the skunk because the frog isn't misunderstanding them. The skunk isn't being, well, we're going to take a look at triggers in a moment, but the skunk isn't being triggered to set up their smell because the frog is very, how do you say that? It's just that feeling of, yeah, totally, be who you are. That's so okay. I accept you 100%. Like, that's justice for the skunk. Like, finally, there's someone. That's maybe why I felt this insecurity and this, like, vulnerability, because they're so used to being, I'm feeling like they're chibbity cho, right? They're like, is it okay that I'm here? I'm just gonna take this step over here. Is it bothering anybody? Okay, I'm just gonna go back. Okay. So that's kind of the feeling I got with skunk. So the justice is that feeling inside is, oh my God, there's this growing feeling of, oh my God, there's room for something magical. My loyal heart, there's room for my loyal heart here. There's a change in the wind. That's so great. There's a room for me in this world. This frog is showing me that. That's so great, you guys. Beautiful. Let's take a look at how this relationship affects the frog. So they got no oracle cards. The frog only wanted tarot. So yeah, and okay, yeah, my shadow cards is oracle cards, but still. Let's do the tarot first. King of Swords. I love it. Oh, I love this picture. He's so talented, this guy who made it. It's a true black tarot. So talented. Okay, so I'm feeling with the frog, it's kind of like there's a hole in the heart, but something glowing inside of it. And we got the butterflies as transformation, but he's got the hair, like he's not really, he can't see. So he's going into this blind, the frog here, levitating a little bit, supported by the sword, which is representing the truth, I feel. So this this connection is levitating the frog. Oh, Three of Swords. Let's see what else we got. Wow, Nine of Wands, you guys. What? Five of Cups? What's going on here? Nine of Cups. Dude, this is just... I need to look at the shadows. Lonely, vulnerable, and defensive. I am so surprised by this, you guys. This is not at all what I was expecting. I gotta say, like... Wow. Why? Why are you feeling this way, dear frog? This caught me off guard, I gotta say, you guys. First, when I saw this Three of Swords, I was thinking maybe there's just an old heartache being healed. But then we got the Nine of Wands and Five of Cups. That's definitely not the case. And the Nine of Cups, that's just so weird, you guys. Because we got the King of Swords and the Nine of Cups being so positive. Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment, right? We got all this, look how much candy we got here. Delicious, right? Nine of Cups is about... No, this is not Nine of Cups. This is, sorry guys, this is Six of Cups. That's a good card as well. Six of Cups. Usually the soulmate card, sorry, the rumor number threw me off. Usually a soulmate card actually, and it's about giving and receiving. I know that that's usually the Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, but Nine of Cups, it's usually shown as a young boy giving a girl a cup, right? And there's Five Cups behind him, so he's giving and she's receiving. So maybe Okay, so what I'm feeling here is the frog is giving too much. Oh, okay. Oh, you guys, this is actually kind of beautiful because the frog sees how beautiful the skunk is and how misunderstood the skunk is, and the frog wants to give so much to the skunk. And that makes the skunk, that's what gives the skunks this justice feeling and this, oh my god, there's room for me in this world. Problem is, the skunk has nothing to give back because they're so kind of entangled in their own energy of not being good enough. And this creates an imbalance of the frog giving too much and not getting anything in return, making them feel lonely and making them feel vulnerable, because this is actually so exciting, guys. If you're the frog, you need to know that your coping mechanism is giving too much. It's because, okay, let's see here. There can be multiple reasons, but usually it's something about growing up in childhood and there wasn't any room for you. You became kind of the provider emotionally. So maybe your dad worked a lot, or your mom were never home, or you had like a ton of siblings and there wasn't really room for you and who you are. So to get love and affection as a child, you create space to get love and affection. You become, if I take care of you and your responsibilities, then you have room to love me. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're the frog, you created this as a coping mechanism. That's how you relate to other people, and that's how you get love. It's a love pattern, is to take care of other people so they have capacity to give you love and affection. That's how you understand love. And there's a catch here, because you do this because you don't know you're doing this, but you're doing this because you want people to get addicted to you. Because if people get addicted to you, then they don't leave you. And you've been left emotionally in your childhood, maybe physically by a parent walking out, or you were adopted, someone gave you away, or if a parent died, that's gonna be a wound as well of being left, because you could be too young to understand. And also that's just a part of grief, right? So there's something here about giving too much is definitely what I'm feeling. And we got the 9 of Wands and the defensive here with the porcupine, no, the hedgehog, and both is so defensive energy, like giving you because I want something in return, but you can't give anything in return. That makes me defensive and vulnerable and triggers this loneliness. So we're gonna look at the triggers in a moment. But yeah, this is so unbalanced, and the skunk has no idea. No idea, because there's still a child in the energy, where the frog the frog as a child is a tadpole, right? That little swimmy thing. So the frog is an adult, and the skunk is a child. So you've got, if you're the frog, you've got kind of you're being attracted to immature energies, immature people, because you can take care of them and you can be the grown-up, and therefore they're not leaving you, because every child needs a grown-up. They need the mom and dad. So you kind of, that's your wound, and you're kind of replaying it all the time, because that's how you know to get affection, because you were the adult when growing up. And that's, yeah. But you're just replaying your wounds, actually. I think this levitation feeling, like, so the frog got this hole in their heart, but because they get a little bit, like get breadcrumbs from the skunk, that makes them levitate, that makes them feel like, oh my god, this is it. But because he's got his hair in his eyes, he's not seeing clearly, right? You're not seeing, if you're the frog, that this is actually breaking your heart. And I know, like, the Five of Cups is usually depicted as like there's 3 cups spilled on the floor, and then there's 2 cups behind the guy, and he just has to turn around. But if we look at this card, it's just, there's 3 empty cups and they're broken, and this cup totally broken, and it's flowing out. There's only 1 cup. So the frog is giving 4 cups to the skunk. The skunk is only giving 1 cup back. It's an imbalance, and it's breaking the frog, right? It's breaking inside, this heartbreak, and that makes them defensive. When the frog is vulnerable and heartbroken, they become defensive, and they push people away, and they may become a little abusive in their language. It triggers this loneliness wound about no one's ever there for me. I'm never going to be loved. It's a false truth. I'm going to make a video about that at one point. It's such an important thing to know about your false truths, actually. So if you want to know about that, subscribe to the channel. I'm working on it. I've got a lot of videos I want to get out there, but this is just my hobby channel, right? This English channel here. I got so much going on other places, so I'm doing what I can here. Yeah, so it's kind of like the frog is giving it all away, giving you all my sweets. I got all these sweets, and I'm giving it to you, and everything I get back is empty, broken glasses, and maybe a glass of water now and then. That's not really what you want, right? So right now, I'm seeing this relationship is not toxic to the skunk. It's it's something that makes him grow, and something very, very healthy for the skunk. For the frog, on the other hand, it's very toxic. It's not good. This is not a place for the frog to be. And that's the thing, that the skunk kind of really needs this relationship that makes them grow. And the frog is getting pulled down by this relationship. It only reopens the childhood wounds again and again, and they're going to be more damaged, actually. So this is not a relationship that can function. That's not ever going to happen, because the skunk is too young in energy for there's so much growth. They can never meet the frog where they need to be, and the frog is kind of only, or a majority of the part of the frog being attracted to the skunk is that they are reopening their wounds. Yeah, because that's kind of what the frog knows. Okay, so let's take a look at the triggers here. How the one person triggers the other. Kind of already see it here, but let's see what else we got. So, there we go. And there we go. So, how does the frog trigger the skunk? What's going on inside the skunk that the frog is triggering? I want to do these first. Unleash your creativity. Yeah, that's you guys. I said that, right? Here is this inspiration, this power, this magic. Everything it touches becomes something very beautiful. Self-sabotage. That's interesting. We didn't see that before. So let's see what else we got. Surrender to your full power. Surrender unhealthy relationships. Surrender to miracles. Dependent, yeah, definitely, yeah, because the skunk is the child in this relationship. They're being dependent on the frog, and the frog is feeling that, and that's the thing about someone being, what did I say? Addicted to you, kind of like, yeah, that's the dependent here. So this is the frog, and the skunk is leaning against the frog, and that feeling makes the frog feel, gives them this levitation feeling. No, that's the wrong cards. Sorry, here we go. This, let's see what we got. You know what I mean. So that's what gives the frog this levitation feeling, and feeling like a king, that the skunk needs them. That's how they feel loved. Union, yeah, spontaneous. So there's a lot of great things here for the skunk being awoken, like they can start being themselves, being spontaneous, because I love this. I chose this card. This is my deck with shadows. It's not for sale, it's just for me. But I chose this picture for spontaneous because she's dressed up in high heels and a beautiful dress, like going to a party or a picnic, or maybe not a picnic, but something, not going on a boat, right? And then she just walks to the party and she sees this boat and she's like, I'm gonna go to the boat. That's me. And it's a funny thing, because we're surrounded by water and these, I don't know what this is called in English actually, but that's, we got them here as well. That's where frogs usually live, like depicted, that's where they usually live. So I feel like the skunk is feeling very, very good, and content in the frog's companion. And I feel like the skunk is healing because the frog is giving them what they should have been given from their parents. So I think the skunk was already misunderstood as a child as well. So they weren't giving something from their parents. They were missing that, and so they never really grow. They kind of just stay tippy-toe, kind of, is it okay? Oh, I'm in the way. Okay, I'm sorry. Like that energy. But the frog is more like trying to find their way in the world and cleaning up all the clutter, right? So what's up with the self-sabotage? Oh, wow, you guys, this is, and so the union is a good thing as well, right? They're really feeling like the relationship with the frog is triggering union with the skunk inside themselves, because someone is showing them that they are okay and there's room for them in the world. Oh, sorry with the mic here. That makes the skunk union have some union inside themselves. The things that they fragmented, that there wasn't room for in their childhood, they're now coming back, and the skunk is embracing those part of themselves because of the frog. Yeah, and that gives them this feeling of power and miracles again with this card, right? I was saying, like, it's miracles, it's magic, it's beautiful, and they do have this loyal heart, so they are a loyal person. Problem is that they're too immature for the frog. It's not gonna work. The frog will always be the parent in this connection, so it's not gonna work. But like, there's so much good here for the skunk that it's sad actually, because it's not healthy for the frog. So and it's not really healthy for the skunk either as a romantic relationship. It should never be parent and a child in the energy way. So yeah, there is an expiration date on this, definitely. And I think that if it's not stopped now or like soon, it's gonna explode, because the frog is gonna be so triggered, and the skunk has no idea that when the frog is like confronting them and saying, this is how I feel, and setting boundaries, the skunk doesn't understand. Because let's say they're 3 years old, right? And the frog is like 30. It's a world of difference. They don't understand, and the frog will get frustrated because they don't understand why the skunk don't understand, but they're just too immature. And I'm sorry if you're the skunk and getting triggered by that, but yeah. Surrender unhealthy relationships and self-sabotage. Oh, okay, that's really interesting actually, because the self-sabotage is triggered in the skunk by the frog, is that when the skunk is self-sabotaging, it calls in the frog because it calls in the adult that takes care of the child. So like a child, if you fall down and hit your leg and you start crying, the adult comes comfort you. So I'm feeling like the skunk is self-sabotaging. They don't know they're doing this. They're self-sabotaging so the frog can come save them. And that makes this energy of dependent, like, I can lean on you. You're always saving me. And that's the complex thing about this, because that makes this an unhealthy relationship, because the frog is always saving the skunk. So this is actually unhealthy for the skunk as well. Yeah. Let's see what the skunk triggers in the frog. Discover your life purpose. Separation. Destructive. Yeah. Surrender, resentment. So I think the thing that I think that the thing the frog needs to realize is they have resentments towards the skunk, and I think that's a normal thing in their relationship, romantic relationship, maybe in a friendship and family bonds as well. But in a romantic relationship, they have resentment towards the person that they're with, because they are always the parent. So they are giving so much leash and room to roam, is what I'm hearing. Room to roam, like this, like roam, like ROAM, not roam the city, but to roam around. They're giving too much leash to another person and not respecting their own boundaries. And because of this, how do you say that? just said it before. Oh, I hate when this happens. Because you have this, as the frog has this, I'm going to give you all of this. And then, because that makes you, that gives you energy to give me something back. But because they're giving so much and not getting really anything in return, there's a lot of resentment. Not realizing that it's not skunk's fault. They don't have a lot to give back. And that's why the frog is attracted to them, so they can save them, right? Because they're so used to that, being the savior, being the parent, being the one that makes them, the skunk, addicted to kind of the frog, right? So that creates resentment, because the frog really wants is equal give and take, and it's not happening because the skunk just doesn't have that. It's that they don't have it. They can't give you that. They can't give the frog that. So there's something about discovering here life purpose. And I think, to me, it's kind of more like life purpose isn't necessarily like your job and stuff like that, but it's, so life purpose for the frog is, one of the life purposes to realize the wound that they're carrying. And this relationship is here to, like, they're, look at all of this, like defensive, vulnerable, lonely, nine of wands, 3 of swords, and everything we got, right? The frog has an opportunity here to realize what their relationships are doing to them. Really, the frog needs to be single. They need to work on their abandonment wounds and the vulnerability and everything. They need to know who they are from their childhood and what's going on. And like, there's a lot of shit that needs to clear out here, right? And we did have that feeling stuck, right? So it kind of makes sense to me now with this Knight of Swords and this feeling stuck, because the frog is coming in with all of this, giving you all of this so you can give something in return, but nothing's coming in return, so I feel stuck. Giving and giving and giving, and I'm telling the skunk, I need this, and the skunk is saying, yeah, sure, I'll give you that, and the skunk is not giving the frog that, because the skunk doesn't even know, it doesn't understand. It's not that it's saying, yeah, I'll give you that, should be an asshole. It's not that. They truly believe that, yes, I can do that, of course I can, I understand, but they don't understand. That's the problem. This is too big a gap in immaturity, and in some way the frog is immature as well, because of their wounds, being the hero and trying to make someone addicted to them. It's subconscious. You don't know you're doing it. I'm not blaming you. I'm telling you what's going on inside of you. So there's no blame here, not with the skunk as well. I'm just telling what's going on inside each of you, right? And being destructive and creating this separation, because you can never truly have a union with a person that is not on your level. And I'm not saying that the skunk is less. I'm just saying they're somewhere else and then in their development than the frog. The skunk isn't, I know I'm saying it's an immature energy. Well, it kind of is with the frog as well. But in this relationship, that's the immature energy. They can't give anything. They don't have anything to give because they're still so young in their energy. They're still very broken. And that's what the frog is seeing and trying to fix. But they are broken. And it's just a coping mechanism and a survival mechanism to, instead of looking at your own shit, you're trying to fix everybody else, because then you can get love from them instead of clearing out your own clutter and loving yourself. That makes you destructive. That makes it like you're always gonna get into these relationships that is creating separation, because this person isn't anywhere near you, right? And the skunk needs to, like, it's not a good thing that they're being dependent on the frog. Like, if it was a friendship, it would have been a very good friendship, I think, because the frog could be kind of a mentor to the skunk. But this is a romantic relationship reading here, so yeah. So to sum this up, this is a toxic relationship to both parties. I understand the connection to each other, and there's feeling like giving each other something, but you're not really actually, you're like take this for example. If you're always tying your child's shoes, how are they going to learn to tie themselves, right? So that's the thing about the frog, is always constantly tying the skunk's shoes, and they're never going to learn themselves. But it's nice for the skunk to be in, because they get their affection and love from the frog that they didn't get as a child, right? And they're getting the love from outside sources, and the frog is getting the love from outside sources by being this provider for the skunk, and then getting the crumbs of appreciation back. It's just not enough, and that creates this resentment and separation feeling, and that makes the frog destructive, because of the it triggers their defensiveness and loneliness wound. So it's not healthy for anybody, this relationship. It's I'm sorry, it has to end. That's my definitely my opinion and my advice, that this shouldn't continue. And both parties need to look at what they have to work on in with themselves. But the frog especially needs to stay single. I think that they keep coming into these relationships, and the skunk is more. I feel like the skunk can grow in another relationship where they find another skunk or another baby animal, right? Where, because that will lose the dependent card, that will be flipped, and the self-sabotage as well, because the skunk is only self-sabotaging to feel the dependent and that they can lean on the frog. But if they find another baby animal, they will also be immature, and that will be like, we can stumble through this together and figure out together, and another baby animal would still be open to the skunk, because they're so new as well that they don't know the skunk can do the smelly thing. Right? The frog here, I'm feeling like you need to take care of yourself. You need to move away and just be you, because there's so many things you need to figure out about yourself, about your childhood wounds and your love patterns, and yeah, you really need to dive deep and clear out that clutter, definitely. Yes. So that was a bit of a tough reading, but I hope it helps. And if it resonates, please give the video a thumbs up so we get out to more people who needs to see this. And do subscribe if you like to see more videos. I got playlists. Take a look at my playlist. Got different videos about. It's all about self-development on this channel. So I wish you all the best. If you're the skunk or if you're the frog, no, it's with love. I'm saying this. I'm not judging. You're not wrong. And this is just coping mechanisms. This mechanism happening because of what you've been through in your childhood and stuff like that. So best of luck and lots of love from me. Take care, you guys. Bye. Pile number 3. Three? You get it? Oh, I didn't plan on this. This just happened. Pile number 3. You chose this kind of magical little painting with a 3. Yeah, wait. Yeah, okay. So this could indicate that you're feeling something magical in this relationship. This is a reading about if this is a toxic relationship. And normally, because this is a self-development channel, I only do like focus on you. But because I'm looking at a relationship, I will be focusing on both parties, and it's up to you to recognize who you are and which of these people you are. So I've got this pile here is about the overall energy of the relationship to make you, so you can recognize if this is your situationship or not. So it's not that you necessarily have to be together or living together or married or anything like that. It can be kind of an ex-partner or an on and off or a situationship or a crush or whatever. So that's the first thing we're going to look at. And after that, we're going to look at how each person is affected by this relationship. And then we're going to look at how each person triggers each other. And in the end, I'm going to sum up if this is a toxic relationship or not. It could be toxic for one party and not the other, depending. So let's take a look at the overall energy of this relationship. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. 10 of Cups, that's great. Oh, hi kitty. Star, also very great. Queen of Swords. 9 of Swords, not so great. And Empress, very great. Well, the only like negative card here is Nine of Swords. That talks about worry. See her lying on a bed, and we got in this deck, this card has like these puncture wounds for like vampire. So it could be an emotional vampire draining her. But definitely something about worrying. The swords represent the mental energy. But all the other cards is kind of talking about something good here. We got the Empress, which is she's the queen of all queens, the uppermost feminine energy, and in this deck she's nude, so it's about being vulnerable, and the Star as well is nude, and the Star is about wish fulfillment and your true north, going your true path. Ten of Cups is about happy family, happy home. Wish fulfillment also in like it's the 10 is the goal for something, right? It's the last card. It's from 1 to 10, so it's something what you're going for. Queen of Swords is about, I see her reaching out right here. She's sitting here with, so the Swords is about mental energy. It's also about the truth. And I recognize like the crown here. I never really been drawn to that before. And there's a little bird here as well. I don't know what this bird is called. It's here as well. I never seen this before. There's a bird here on the handle as well. So birds to me represent our connection to our guides and the universe and the spiritual realm, actually. She's got a lot of flowers here. So even though it's a bare land, she's got flowers representing to me abundance. And she's sitting there ready to receive and ready to give. I think this, and with the blue, speaking the truth, searching for the truth. It's kind of weird because like the energy is overall really, really good. And I feel like there is a lot of feminine energy about being vulnerable, about talking about emotions, about being honest with each other. But there's also this Nine of Swords with the worry here. And kind of with the retreat, it's kind of like you two found each other and then retreated to your own world. You could kind of say that as well with this little painting, like it's your own magical world, right? And it's kind of like the tree is lighting up. We got all these fireflies around. I'm having a hard time catching the energy actually of this this relationship. Let's see if we can get more cards. See if we can get a little more specific. Okay. And then, so this is a card only in this deck. And as I remember, it's about rebirth and, there's cycles. And the snake to me is about shedding skin and also about healing. Could be about healing childhood wounds. Four of Cups. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a fast-moving energy. And Four of Cups. It's usually a card that talks about being presented with something, but not taking it. A missed opportunity is also what it's called. But in this deck, I feel like you're already filled up. And then there's this final cup is being filled. So this didn't help much, actually. This forward Eight of Wands, fast moving forward energy could be representing that when you met each other, it kind of went fast with connecting. I don't know. This feels like a solid relationship. It really does. I don't understand this Nine of Swords. This feels very solid. Very interconnected and very like, I don't feel any. I don't understand this Nine of Swords. I don't feel that in this energy. So, if this is your story, like it's good, it's calm, it's connecting, it's maybe for some of you it's been fast moving, but there's maybe a hint of something here, maybe a hint of a worry. then let's dive into what else we got here. So we're going to do each person we got here. Let's see how this relationship affects each person. So I'm gonna, it's represented by two animals. The first person is the elephant. Second person is the otter, represented by the otter. Yeah, so it's kind of like this is what I'm feeling, like intertwined, and I feel like the elephant is very in this picture feeling very wise, feeling old, right? I'm getting kind of grandpa vibe from this. It's kind of also like, look at the colors here, orange and green and kind of orange, right? It's flipped. Very complementary, I'm feeling. So let's take a look at how this connection relationship is affecting the elephant. Victory, okay. Queen of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, and the Fools. This is great cards, you guys. So confused. I'm so confused. Why? Because when we got this, like this energy here, and also the energy from the relationship, in like in total, or like an overview of the overall energy, like it's so positive. So why would you be watching a video asking if your relationship is toxic? I don't get it. So maybe there's something here with the other, but Queen of Wands. Like I feel the elephant feels like they can be free in this relationship. Like they're not being held down by the other. The other is respecting them and loving them, and they won. They definitely got, like, this is the perfect match for me. Like victory, right? The Fool here, I love it. Like this deck, the True Black Tarot, it's the most beautiful deck I got. It's so beautiful. Here with the lotus flowers and the that's going, like, to me, lotus flowers is representing going through a hard time and coming to the surface and finally flowering, right? And we got the butterfly for transformation. He's got a kind of wings here, flying, and he's this being. I'm feeling like he's new, like again with the Empress and the star, like being vulnerable, being like this feels like a masculine energy, so I'm just gonna call him. It feels like he can be so free in this relationship. He can be who he is with this Nine of Pentacles, being independent and still like. So we got the Queen of Wands, the Wands representing passionate energy and creativity, inspiration. To me, it's a lot about the sacral chakras, also sexual energy. And I feel like this person here the elephant is just so free in this connection. There's so much room for them, and they feel so loved, and they feel so not restrained at all. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I'm so confused. Let's see what's going on here. How does this connection affect the other? The otter, deceit. Okay. Four of Swords is about healing. This is one card here. Yeah. Eight of Pentacles, hard work. Ace of Swords, Seven of Swords. Okay, so we got it. So the Nine of Swords we were seeing before is definitely here on the other, because there's deceit, and there's this something's healing, and the Seven of Swords is also about deceit. So we kind of got deceit twice. It's affecting the other. Utter. Deceit. Healing, working, new beginnings. Just give me a second, guys, because I kind of worried if the otter is deceiving the elephant, because I don't want to believe it, because the energy is so beautiful, like the overall energy and also the energies from the elephant, you guys. So, but there's a new beginning, and we got the sword again, like the Queen of Sword with the truth, right? Fire is transformation. Got the lotus flowers as well here. So we got lotus flowers on each stack. So going through a dark period and coming up and blooming. What is up with this deceit thing? I think the otter has a secret for the elephant. Like, and I'm saying that because I'm seeing he's got a chest here and money coming out of it. So the otter might have a money problem and they're not telling the elephant. There's something. Wow, and it's I'm feeling like it's so well hidden. I can't even see it. Right? And I'm diving into this. They're working on it and they're healing it. There's something the otter is ashamed of and they're not telling the elephant. And that's the really funny thing, because the elephant is so free and feels like they're totally in the dark about what's going on over here with the otter. I'm feeling like the otter isn't setting boundaries with the elephant because they kind of need the love the elephant is giving them, and they're afraid that if they start setting boundaries, the elephant will leave, because the thing that the elephant loves about this relationship is that they're so free that the other person isn't like dragging their truth on their down on their head, or saying like, I need you to do this kind of thing. Because the other is in this relationship is definitely healing to the other, and it's definitely providing some kind of resources, because I see the eight of coins here is about working, right? So I'm seeing that as self-development. So because of the wisdom the elephant's got, so much wisdom, the other needs that to work on themselves, to heal and create this new beginning, right? So yeah. I feel like the way this relationship is affecting the elephant is like they feel free, they feel there's no worry, they can be who they are. It's a great relationship. The way this relationship is affecting the other is there's healing elements, and there's tools for self-development. There's something new, transformation going on. They're realizing truths all the time, because we got the source is representing the truth. Also, there's truth falling from the sky. So the elephant is giving the other so much. And okay. So it's not necessarily that the other actually is hiding something for the elephant. It could be, if you're the other, but it's more as they are scared that the elephant is going to see something about the other, and that realize some kind of truth, because all of the things that the other is doing, all of this self-development they're doing, all of these truths they are realizing is not easy. And they are scared that some of these things that they're realizing about themselves that they don't like, what if the elephant sees that too, and the elephant doesn't like it and leave the other? That's kind of what I'm feeling here. Okay, that's the deceit. So they're not really deceiving, they're just trying to hide what they don't like about themselves, and they're working on that on their own. And actually this is a good thing, because the elephant wants the others to work on their own. The elephant wants to, it has no problem guiding, it has no problem creating that space. But the elephant is very old soul, kind of very, very wise, been working on a lot of themselves in this life as well. A very, very mature energy. It doesn't have to be like age-wise, but their energy is very mature. There's this calmness about them. And I think they do know that the other is going through a lot. And they're like, if you need me, I'll be here for you, help you, I'll give you new perspectives and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do the journey for you. And the otter is doing their own journey, and that's what's working here. Actually, that's so funny, because the otter is scared that, okay, what if like they're scared. I'm hearing they're scared to become codependent of the elephant. They're not. They are not codependent, and the elephant is not. This is what I'm seeing now is healthy. But the otter is scared, that fear of losing the elephant, that fear of using who I really am. And the funny thing is, the elephant sees the otter as who they are, and the elephant is so patient with the otter because because they're like, it's actually a cool thing. I'm feeling like the elephant is so proud of the otter because the elephant sees the transformation and they support them, but they're giving the other leash. They're not trying to fix them. It's if the other comes to the elephant and say, I need this, I'm so confused or scared, I need healing, I need love, the elephant is there, totally, I embrace you, I give you this. And then the other goes off on their own again and doing their own thing, working from within. So there's no dependency here. There's only like healthy. And the elephant, they see so deep. They see people so deep. They see people for who they really are. So they already know the otter. That's why they're with them. Because they already know the other. They already know everything that the other is going through and realizing about themselves. And the elephant is so proud because every time the otter steps up in their healing process, the elephant's like, you go, girl. That's my darling. That's my girl. That's my woman. That's my, or man. Doesn't matter. But yeah, that's like, the elephant is giving so much space for the otter to grow and thrive. And even though the elephant sees the answers, they're not giving it. They're giving it if he, I'm just going to say he because it feels like a masculine energy. He's giving it when he feels like you need a nudge, right? The elephant is so good at challenging the otter. And the otter needs it. They need it and they love it. But it's difficult because that brings things to the surface and they're so scared that, oh my God, this came to the surface. I just realized this about myself. What if this person sees this? Maybe they're going to leave me. And the elephant's like, girl, I saw it all along. It's not new to me. You can't surprise me. I've seen it all. I've seen it. You know, that wise person. So, yeah, okay. I'm getting this here. Now I understand why we had all these great cards and then this worry here, because that's the other energy, otter's energy. But the elephant is like, yeah, no, the elephant is very wise. If you're the otter and you're with the elephant knows what they're doing. They chose you for a reason. Yeah, and they feel like it's victory. You're their person, definitely. That is so cool, you guys. So let's take a look at what they trigger in each other. I love this. I got a little worried there with the Judici cards, I gotta say. But yeah, so this is the elephants. There we go. And this is the otter. So let's take a look at how the otter triggers the elephant. It could be positive triggers and negative triggers. We got patience, sexual, oh my God, you guys, I love it. So I'm thinking here, the elephant is thinking the other is very sexy. The elephant is so turned on about this taking responsibility for yourself and working on yourself and just like, this is my otter. I'm just so sexy when they do that. That's so cool. And they're so patient. So I'm feeling usually the elephant might not be so patient, but the other is just, they want to do everything. Like, that's my person, right? My otter, it's my person. I can be patient for you. Like, they're so used to, in their life, just developing. And if I want to go travel, I go travel. I want to buy this house, I buy this house. If I want to do this, I do this. But now it's like their otter is here. So they're like, I want to go travel, but I want to see if the other wants to come. If they don't want to come, do I want to do it alone or do I want to stay here? There's so much more decisiveness and so much more like waiting on another person. And they usually didn't do that. They were usually just off on their own, right? Yeah, this is great, you guys. And I'm feeling like the otter have some kind of sexual, how do you say that? Not experience, but they bring something to the elephant sexually that the elephant hasn't experienced before, actually. So as wise as they are and so much that they've been through, the other brings them something they never had before and they're crazy about it. I feel it like they're, this other is so sexy. I'm so into them. Yeah, this is crazy, you guys. Love it. Let's do the shadow here. It shows. I love it because like, look at this butterfly just sitting on the frog's head. I'm sorry, am I being intrusive? Really? You want your own space? Sorry. So, I just love it. Oh, and I love the reflection here that the butterfly can actually see itself. So, the thing that the other triggers in the elephant is the elephant realizing with the reflection here when they're being intrusive. So you guys, I'm loving this reading. The elephant used to be intrusive actually because they have so much wisdom. They know people, they see things, they are like challenging people. Come on, give me the truth. I know what the truth is. I just want you to see it too. They keep pushing people, keep challenging people. Because they're so strong, so independent, so knowledgeable, so wise, so wisdom, so wise, right? So in the relationship with the otter, because the otter I feel is good at setting boundaries, is good at saying, I want to do this myself. Stop fixing my problems, kind of thing, right? I'm doing this. Show me like the tools that you use, and I want to use them myself. Stop fixing my problems. The otter is very cool in that way. So the elephant is realizing when they're being intrusive and when it's not really helping. They are being balanced in when should I nudge you, when should I challenge you, and when should I just leave you to do things. And that is why the elephant is so proud of the otter, because the elephant is so used to kind of fixing people that when they meet the other and having the other in their life and people, they are taking responsibility for themselves. The elephant isn't used to that, because if you're a people fixer, if you're fixing people, then you are a match to people who's not taking responsibility for their own actions and words and stuff like that, wounds, right? So I think the elephant has been working on themselves, trying not to fix people, and then they became a match to the otter, who's not willing to be fixed by people, who's kind of a little bit stubborn. Um, but that's a good thing, because they want to do it on their own. I want to tie my own shoes. I'm never going to learn to tie my shoes if you do it for me. So the elephant is kind of, yeah, that's true. I'm going to stop tying shoes. I'm going to show you how I tie my shoes, and then you can see if that works for you as well. So that's the thing they trigger in them. That's so cool, you guys. I love it. We got surrender negative thinking. Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me as well, because the elephant, I think, if you're used to taking responsibility for other people's healing, then you can become kind of negative about other people not taking responsibility for their own healing. But again, as I said, you're a match to people who's not responsible when you're being over responsible. So if you're fixing other people, then why should they fix themselves? So the elephant is kind of somewhere along the road realized that that's kind of what I'm attracting. If I keep fixing people, then that's what I'm a match for. So I'm going to try to stop to be intrusive. And that just vaporize kind of this negative thinking about people. And I think that elephant can be a little judgmental as well, as what I'm hearing, where the otter is very loose and can give some perspectives that the elephant, like if they weren't judgmental, they would see it. But they kind of put on these tinted glasses that they can't really see clear because of the judgmental energy. And I think that the judgmental energy is coming from a place of disappointment in people, right? So that kind of creates that judgment because of again, with the fixing other people and other people not taking responsibility for their lives and words and actions and stuff like that. So the otter is actually helping the elephant realizing, well, you're kind of being judgmental now. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, I'm gonna surrender that. Fear of change. So with this, I'm feeling that because the elephant is so good at being independent and being themselves, they feared in relationship that they had to give up that independence. And we saw that in this relationship they don't, right? Because the independence card is here at, I'll find this Oh, here with the kitty. This card is about nine of Pentacles is about being independent, right? So they're afraid to give that up. So they're afraid of that change. Like, I remember when I was like in my early 20s, I was thinking, how the hell am I ever going to get a family? Because I can't live with other people, right? I'm so independent, and I can't imagine myself living with another person. I love living by myself and how to share a house and everything, and they're just no. Um and I ended up getting married and living with a guy, with my husband, of course, and it was no problem at all. It was no problem. So it's kind of like sometimes we think we know ourselves, and we don't actually. That's so weird. So there's something about the elephants thinking they know themselves and thinking that being afraid of that change of another person coming in so close, because what if I have to give up my freedom? But it turned out that they didn't. It's just you just need to be with the right person, right? Surrender addiction or surrender to divine timing. Oh, I'm hearing here with this divine timing that it's about control. So because the elephant can see a lot of things, it's difficult for them not to take control. Also, with their being intrusive, they're so used to, if I want things fixed, I have to do it myself. So I have to fix other people so everything works, right? They might have been growing up in an environment where they had to be the grown-up in some way, fixing things. So they're not good at surrendering to divine timing, and the otter is triggering that in them because they are taking their sweet time. The otter is like, I'm loving that energy, because the otter is like, no, I know, I love that you challenge me, but don't push me. Like, there's a difference, right? Like when you're intrusive and when you're supportive. So I love that you challenge me, but don't push me. Divine timing, things take time. And I think it's because the elephant sees the otter. He sees everything that's going on inside of her, and that's blossoming, and that's just underneath the surface. And he just wants that to, I want to give that some good sunshine and rain and make that grow even faster. And the other's like, this is my journey. Okay? Stop sitting on my head. Could you just fly somewhere else? And the elephant, oh yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, divine timing and everything in your time. I'm sorry, dear. Of course. I love you. Surrender your addictions. So I feel actually that the elephant has been kind of lonely, and I think that sometimes they have the tendency, at least in earlier relationships, to become dependent on another person because of that loneliness, and because of that fixing other people. We actually had a little bit of that in pile number 2. So pile number 2 could have been like how your former relationship was, and you were the frog, which is kind of funny actually because there's a frog here. And that's how you work. So go watch that afterwards if that resonates, and then you can see if that's how you used to have relationships. And so there's some kind of addiction, being dependent on other people, and sometimes the elephant can kind of slip into that as well. It can be triggered by the other, because the other is so dependent, like on their self. They're not codependent. So the elephant is kind of like, why are you not dependent on me? I'm used to people being dependent on me. That can kind of trigger them, is what I'm hearing. I love this, you guys. I'm so loving this reading. Nothing toxic so far. So let's take a look at how the elephant triggers the otter. Home. Oh. Just a second. So triggered could be a good thing. Things coming up to the surface. So there's something about feeling home, but I'm still having an insecurity, and I think that's the 9 of Swords here, that the otter is kind of, it feel like home with the elephant, but there's an uncertainty. Let's see what else we got here. We got surrender to success. Got sad. Oh, okay. Surrender your belief in scarcity. Definitely something about being left here. And we got a portal here. We got a portal here. Like, I think this is a bridge, but still something going like through, or something going like through. Shadow, sad, liar, gentle, and toxic femininity. The otter is so complex. I think that the elephant loves that about the otter, being so complex. And they're not used to success. So I think that the Nine of Swords is also about when things is going their way. They're kind of like maybe going towards a little self-sabotage, believing there's not enough for everybody, believing there's some kind of, they have this wound about being left and not being good enough and not being loved. And I feel like when the elephant is getting too close actually to the otter, like, that's a success, right? Oh my God, I'm being loved, but I can't handle it. So I'm withdrawing a little bit. Not too much, but a little enough to actually trigger something in the elephant that they want to be intrusive to figure out what's going on in the otter. And then the otter is like responding with, no, I'm doing this on my own. Kind of, yeah. Okay, sad. So there's a sorrow, there's a sadness. I feel like not belonging. I feel like that's kind of... So what I'm feeling is like the otter feels like they belong with the elephant. I feel like home with the elephant. But they're so scared of, how can you say that, accepting that feeling. Because they're scared that makes them codependent, that makes them dependent on the elephant. But because if I accept that the elephant is my home, what happens the day that the elephant leaves me, right? And the wounds that they have about being left and not be lovable and not being enough and stuff like that. So they're so scared that if I surrender to this, what happens if the elephant leaves me? Am I gonna break, right? Because there's tremendous love here. Tremendous love I'm feeling from the otter to the elephant. And the elephant is like, you are my otter. Like, kind of like almost on a pedestal. They never seen a person like this before, and they're so into it. Like, elephant is so into the otter. Really, like, oh my God. I love it. But the otter is kind of... Yeah, they're not... How should I say that? They're scared of going all in because they're scared of the success as well. Yeah. And so the elephant is triggering in the otter some kind of sadness, and I think that's because of this feeling of home. So I have this great love for the elephant, but I'm not brave enough to go all in. Kind of like they are. It feels like a relationship, 100%. They might even live together and be married, but so there's very, like, the otter is definitely like, we feel these two here. Like, I know this is represented by an elephant, but the otter is feeling like the elephant is another otter, right? We're the same, is what I'm feeling. And they feel very accepted by the elephant. So there's a lot of love and acceptance and respect, but the otter has a lot of things they're still dealing with, whereas the elephant is much more resolved about themselves. They're already healed a lot, and their thing is about leaning back and just creating space for the otter when the otter needs it and not being intrusive, right? Yeah, we got the liar here as well. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, where they're scared that what they're figuring out about themselves, there's so much going on inside the otter. They're figuring out all of these things about themselves with the healing and the truth coming to the surface, and they're feeling like, oh my God, again, I'm scared that the elephant is going to find out this is the real me. I'm going to try to put on a mask. You can't put a mask on with the elephant. It's kind of like this is happening all the time, I'm feeling. The otter is kind of like putting on a mask, and that's when the elephant recognizes, I need to challenge, not being intrusive, but challenge. and say, that's a mask. And the other is like, and the elephant's like, that's a mask. And the other is like, it's because and the elephant, that's a mask. And the other is like, okay, yeah. And they drop the mask. So it feels like this is a continuous thing that is a good thing, that every time the otter experiences something about themselves that they're insecure about, they want to hide it from the elephant, but the elephant sees through the mask and challenges them. They're not being upset, they're not being angry, they're pushing them, they're saying, but that's a mask. They're not saying, you're a fucking liar. They're saying, that's a mask. And the otter is like, can I get away with this? And the elephant's again, that's a mask. And the other, yeah, okay, I can't get away with this. Yeah. Gentle. So that's a good thing. The elephant is triggering the otter to be more gentle with themselves, because I think the otter is used to hitting themselves in the head. And whereas the elephant learned a long time ago, I feel, to be more gentle with themselves is what is accelerating growth. So that's why they are where they are today in their self-development. It's because of gentleness. They've been gentle to themselves, giving themselves a lot of space and acceptance and love, and just realizing, I'm just human, I'm going through things, and instead of hitting themselves in the head. I think they did that earlier on in their life, but some point they just realized, I need to be gentle with myself. And that just spurred their growth. So they grew a lot faster. And I think that's something that the elephant is triggering in the otter. They're realizing, I need to be gentle with myself. They're seeing that the elephant is doing that to them. Like they're being gentle with themselves, and the otter is mirroring that. And also the elephant is telling them, remember you're just human, be gentle with yourself. Toxic femininity, that's great, because I felt this masculine energy over here and this feminine energy over here. That doesn't mean that this is a man and this is a woman. It just means masculine. I got a video about that. I'll go check out my playlist. I called it Sharing Knowledge. I think the video is about 10 minutes long. It's not much, but I explain about masculine and feminine energy. And I made that video because I use it so much that it's just easier instead of explaining every time. You can go watch that. So do that. This can be a woman, this can be a man, it can be two women, it can be two men, doesn't matter. It's just masculine energy and feminine energy. So the elephant is triggering in the otter some toxic femininity. Toxic femininity is a lot about using your sexuality. And we saw here with the elephant being like, oh my God, this girl over here, she's so hot. I love it. And I love all the sexual energy. And it could be a coping mechanism, actually, to be in the sexual energy, to draw in the elephant. Because when the otter is vulnerable and they're not like willing to open up, they use their sexual energy actually to being met in that vulnerability. And the reason why it's toxic, I wouldn't say it's like toxic in this connection here in this reading, but it's toxic in the way that it's not honest. It's the mask, right? What you really want is, if you're the other, you really want to be honest with what's going on inside of you, but you don't dare. So you put on the mask and you put on the sexual energy to get that love and affection that way. So you're lying to yourself, actually, right? So that's a coping mechanism. I'm not ready to talk about this vulnerability, but I need to be met in my vulnerability. So I'm going to use sex instead. It's not a bad thing. It's not toxic as per se, but it's just, you're kind of lying to yourself. You're not being honest with yourself and saying, I need to talk about this. I need to be met in this vulnerability, because I'm so scared that you're going to leave me if you realize that this is a part of me. And the elephant already knows, but they're not getting involved because they know the otter want to do their journey on their own. So yeah, if you're the otter, the elephant's not going to leave you. It's not. And if you're the elephant, the otter isn't going to leave you either. Like, this is, you guys, I'm so glad this was the last pile, because it's very, very beautiful. And I don't see, to sum it up, I don't see that this is a toxic relationship. It's not toxic to the elephant and it's not toxic to the otter. I know we have this toxic feminine energy, but I just explained that it's not that toxic. And it's not like they're not doing anything toxic to each other, and they're not triggering any toxic wounds within each other. I think this is very, very well balanced, actually. And these people trigger each other and challenge each other in a very, very good way. And they're both very independent, and they both have insecurities, and they're so equal, really. And kind of like so the same, even though one is an elephant and the other one is an otter, they're still the same, right? Same kind of species here. Yeah, I see a lot of love here, definitely. So, you guys, that's what I have for you. If this reading resonated, please give it a thumbs up so we get out to more people who needs to hear this. And until next time, take care. Oh, remember, go watch that Feminine and Masculine Energy on my playlist. What did I call it? Sharing knowledge. Yeah. So take care, guys. See you. Bye.